Hello, AVLI teacher. This is Nick. As you can tell from the title page here, I have quite a treat in store for you today. We are going to talk about the live academic playground that is Moodle Forums. Oh man, you thought you had done forums before, but not like this, you have not. The Moodle Forum is a great way in our model, the AVLI model, to get some asynchronous conversation back and forth between students. And while it basically functions as a message board, there are different ways that you can manipulate that to perhaps get some other things out of it that a typical message board doesn't. Okay, I know that I've been in classes before that have had an online element or have been blended or even mostly face-to-face where the homework has been on a forum or something like that. And essentially the teacher says to make a certain number of posts to the forum and kind of like make sure that you're active in the forum. But what that actually means is not exactly clear to the student. And leads to some pretty subjective grading in terms of what the student expected that the student was supposed to do versus what the instructor was hoping the student sort of would do. And then maybe like a subconscious curve where you are giving the better grades, the teacher's giving the better grades to the better posts, and then sort of down the line after that without drawing a clear line and saying this is what I'm looking for, the student sort of needing to hit that bar in order to meet those standards. So the Moodle forum does offer a couple of neat options that can make the forum experience better and more varied. Like you can do more types of assignment as opposed to just, hey, I'm going to put up this question, everybody answer it, and like make sure you're talking back and forth to each other. Okay, so let's go to this course. This is a course I developed before, and this will work perfectly for our demonstration here. The first thing you need to do, as I'm sure you know by now, is to make sure that if editing is off, you as the administrator turn editing on. Okay, so you have to go down all the way down here to administration, turn editing on, and this allows you to add new activities and resources, and of course to edit the page as you'd like, drag and drop, delete, organize material, change the look, font, etc. All right, so at the bottom of the topic that you would like your forum to go into, you are going to go down to add an activity or resource. All right, hit that. And of course, one of the activities here, it's under all, but I'm just trying to show you that it is technically an activity, is forum. All right, you click on forum, and this is what you're going to get. So let's call this test forum here. All right, and you can put the description here, and the description might include what you're looking for in the forum, perhaps the prompt or the question that you want the students to answer. You could even include directions. This is how many words I'm looking for. These are the type of responses, and we'll get into in a minute how you can do that even further. But just for the sake of it, we're going to put forum directions and or prompts here. All right, and then you've got your type of forum, and just for the sake of this, we'll leave it on standard form for general use. But all four of these are really neat change-ups, right? These are all different ways that you can use the forum activity on Moodle that doesn't necessarily make it look like the typical class discussion board that we've seen. Okay, now the great thing about this is this idea that you can, first of all, ask the students to bring in some sort of attachment to include with their post, and also the word count tracker here, which I love. Okay, because here you can actually say, Not something subjective like, oh man, I'd really like everybody to just really think hard and have a well thought out post or a well thought out answer to what another student has said, but you can actually ask for up here, you know, say I want two, or sorry, one 400 word post and three 100 word replies to, sorry, let's try this one more time. There it is. To another student's post or reply. Okay, now in this here, they know that they have one kind of 400 word post that they need to put. They need to do this. This is kind of their anchor maybe into the forum. And then as students answer to each other or even answer to their own to the original 400 word post, they need three 100 word replies throughout the forum to someone else's. And what's great about this is you just say a reply is anything that is attached to someone else's writing. Okay, so if I do a 400 word post and then someone decides to do one of their three replies on my 400 word post, if I want to then do a 100 word reply to their reply, that would count. I obviously cannot do a 400 word post and then reply with another 100 words of something I forgot. That would not count as a reply. That would just be an extension. So you can't just like keep replying to your own. And so what this does is it makes the students kind of get in there and look at each other's because they're looking for the one that they kind of want to answer or want to reply to, or a discussion that they want to get involved in. And that is just a neat idea for the students to do, because they're always going to, of course, take the path of least resistance. But here, it kind of gives them a little bit of student choice in that they are doing writing, they are responsible for a certain number of words, but they don't just have to write exactly something that you're telling them. They can actually get themselves involved in one of many conversations that's taking place, or more than one conversation that's taking place. And honestly speaking, most times uh, when I've done this assignment, while students have done the 400 word post and the three of at least 100 words, they get in and now maybe it's not 100 words after that, but most students then go on to do 5 or 6, but maybe just an extra couple sentences afterward because you know, the Facebook and Twitter clicks in and they want to they always want to sort of like answer back to what the other person said. It creates some nice debates. All right. So I would really recommend that. Okay. Now, what was the other thing? So the other option here is this grading type, where you can grade the entire activity here for everyone, and also where am I looking here? Now, the real magic happens after the word count, and where I think that the Moodle forum separates itself is as you head down here to whole forum grading. I think the default will be at none, and so you'll get a box like this, which looks confusing. However, if you put it on the point total, just like you would something else, and you're going to give the students a grade out of 5, for instance, or higher, you get an option here that is really really helpful under grading method. You can of course go with the simple direct grading. However, you also have an option here to use a rubric, which is great because now you can tell the student what a 5 is, what a 4 is, what a 3 is, what a 2 is. All right, and in order to do that, after you do rubric, you've got your advanced grading over here, and you actually can go into and create a rubric here from scratch, which is pretty simple. Um, And all you would do is to name the rubric here, and then since it's a 5-point rubric, you're going to add level, add level, add level, and you of course want to name the level here at the top, and then under each you will get to explain, for instance, like student does not participate in the forum. Okay, that would be an obvious 0. Okay, now 1 obviously is a student does not complete the necessary word count. No, you know what we should do? Does not complete the necessary number of posts. Student does not meet the word count, even though they do finish it. Okay, and then here for like 3, 4, and 5, you can get into actually explaining the sort of quality of responses, because we all know that if we say, oh, you need a 100-word reply, that students will want to get in there and say, well, I really liked what Greg had to say because, and then sort of like repeat what that person said, and he really made me think, and now every time I read this book, I'm going to think what Greg just put. Great answer, Greg. Thanks, Greg. And they sort of will try to do things that are just getting them to the word limit, right? And like when they do that, it's not the quality of response. Okay, so for 3 points, you could say that the student does complete the word count, but many of the words were sort of unnecessary or didn't get at the question. Whereas 4 would be that the student did have a substantial answer, but perhaps a lot of it could have been trimmed out. In which case it would kind of like he did get to the word count. The word count was met. I'm just going to put in some values here just so that we can get the word count. He met the word count or she met the word count, but it was not utilized efficiently. There's a lot of filler in there. There were things and then all the way up to 5 points where it would be where you would describe exactly what you're looking for, and the student does that, they get the 5 points. Okay, so you save rubric and make it ready. Oh, we gotta name it. We'll call it test. All right, save rubric and make it ready. And now that rubric is able to be used for. Oh, I gotta put in this here. Call rubric test. This is another good feature of Moodle is when you don't have something that's mandatory, it will make sure that you know that. All right. So we're going to go back to test forum. We've got our advanced grading in the test forum. Okay, we need to get into the editing. Or edit settings. And now as we scan down and we've got our whole form grading, and we want to go to point and we want to go to rubric, we're good. And now we can use the rubric that we created before to grade that. And now when the students do go in and complete the assignment, or whenever the time limit is up or whatever, when you go to grade it, you actually fill out the rubric just by clicking on it. You don't have to fill out a paper rubric or print it out or say, here's like you actually click on the description that most accurately defines what they did, and then it puts that grade right there in the grade book for that many points. And so you can really fiddle around with what you want from the forum. For instance, like I was saying earlier, that maybe you want to do a different type of forum, and you can still do the same thing. So you go to a different type of forum here, and you can, it gives a pretty good description of what you're trying to do here, but like a question and answer type forum, blog posts in which you sort of can create debates through one person blogging and then another person blogging, and then of course the rubric and the grade just makes it so that the forum is much more productive, and again, very very moldable for the type of activity that you're trying to do, can be used multiple times in a semester without feeling like you're just doing the same thing over and over again. Okay, hopefully this helps. Thanks so much. Be sure to contact us if you have any questions